Hi class, let's talk about in the dynamic array as member variable discussion, uh, we would use or overload the assignment operator, and it's actually part of the big three. We are going to talk about it. So what is the big three? The destructor, the copy constructor, and the overloaded assignment operator. If you need one of them, you would actually need all of them. That is the general rule of thumb, or I think it's almost always depends on what you do with the pointer member variable. So we basically it means that whenever you are implementing a class with a pointer member variable, you would need all these three to do all these three: the destructor, copy constructor, and overloading the equal operator. So let's see how it looks like. So basically, you just want to make sure that I can copy one object to another objects. For example, in the money class, well, it wasn't a dynamic array. There wasn't a dynamic array member variable. So the list class that we were just talking about, right? If I want to say list B equals to list A, and assign all the values in the list A to the list B, I need a way to copy every element into the array that's newly created for the list B. And so if we overload the equal operator like we are seeing here, what we would do is, first of all, we will make sure that the element, we would, because it could be that we have done something to the current object, and then we need to release the memory allocated first before we copy in something different, right? So we would do a delete statement first, and then we will copy just like we were doing the copy constructor. Basically, this code is from the copy constructor, doing exactly the same thing. You set up the current size, set up the max size equal to the another list, and then you call the new to allocate memory for the current size or the max size, and then copy each element from the another list to the current the list that you are dealing with. It's implemented as a member variable, so I'm not a friend function at all. And so the I am the element, I am the current size, I am the max size is actually within me. And so that's how you can implement, so just like the copy constructor. But remember, the delete is very important, otherwise you will have memory leak, because you allocated a dynamic array previously. You haven't released the memory space to the heap, and then you already get the pointer to create another, to point to another new dynamic array. So be careful of that. So let's look at some code. So we talk about the overloading assignment operator. So let's look at just that part. So basically everything else stays the same like in the last video. What we did, or what we are doing in this main function, is that after we added two elements to the list A, we create a new list called B, and then set it to equals to A and see what B prints out. We've discussed this already. Basically, remember to delete the array or any memory that was allocated first, and then basically the rest is exactly the same like in the copy constructor. So let's run the code. which I did already, so we can just look at this. So you can see that the B has exactly the same what A has in the list. But we do the copy constructor first because we want to make sure that the copy really did happen, right? So this is an independent copy. We could potentially add one more element actually. Why don't we do that to the list of B? So let's do B add to list. Let's do a for, and then we will print out both A and B and see the difference. I think it's a better way to show that A and B are independent copies. So you see that the copy of, oh, I see. So I actually want to do we want to print the list of A out after adding an element. So you see A and B are independent copies, right? So after we add the value 4 to the list of B, B changed, but A stayed the same. So to recap, what is the big three? Is the what? Destructor, copy constructor, and overloading of the equal operator. When do you need them? You need them when you implement any class that has a pointer as a member variable. No matter if you are using dynamic array or you are creating something else that needs a pointer to be your member variable, you will need all three of this. And then we also talk about how to overload the equal operator. So that's it for this week. I hope it's an easier week for you. I feel like the assignment is also a little bit less intense from the last one. And we'll see you again next week.